Hey everyone, it's Bree and I'm back with another scrapbook process video with SpiegelMom Scraps, and I'm super excited to share this one with y'all today. I am using a cut file that is offered for free in the SpiegelMom Scraps shop. I'll have the link to that below, as well as the links to the sequin mixes that I'm using for this project as well. I've got 5 off to the left side. I end up using only 4. I don't use 50's Sock Hop. I do use Ariel's Tail, Tell Me Tomorrow, Wonderland, and Cotton Candy Land. So I've got the cut file on my mat. I've already cut it. It is, I believe it's called Butterflies and Blooms, but I only chose to cut the 2 flowers that come in the cut file. There are 2 leaves as well as 2 butterflies, but I am only using the flowers because they match with the leis. Well, not perfectly, but it goes with the whole floral scheme with the leis that we're wearing in the photo that I have chosen. So the whole idea behind this is, instead of backing the cut file with normal pattern paper, I am going to be somewhat backing this cut file with sequins. And this does take a little bit of time. It probably took me a little over 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours to complete it. It was quite tedious, but that's okay. I would just put on YouTube and some Netflix, and I got it all done in one shot, and it was super fun. So what I've got going on here is I've traced the inside of the cut file of each petal section, and I am placing each sequin one by one because I don't want too much overlap, because I do plan on putting foam in between each section so I can pop up my actual cut file. I wanted my sequins to kind of sit or lay in each petal section. I didn't want the sequins popping out of it, I guess you can say. That's what I'm trying to say. So instead of me gluing that cut file, to the back portion that I'm using right now, and having the sequins coming off of it, I guess. I don't know. I'm having a hard time explaining this. I'm just putting foam on my cut file, and I'm putting the sequins inside. That's basically what I'm doing. So it's kind of like a shaker, but without the shaking and the acetate piece, I guess. So anyways, I'm horrible at explaining my whole thought process, so I'm sorry. But you'll see what I mean when I show the final product. And I do cut out quite practically the entire thing of me gluing each sequence on one by one. I am just going to show this part here, and then I'm going to, and I'm sorry that my whole face, or almost my whole face is showing, and then I'm going to cut and show you kind of like a progress video, or like a progress shot, and then the final flower with all the sequins in there. And it's looking exactly how I want it, and I love it. And here is, I zoom in, and that way you don't see my head. And then here is what I have done so far. So I've finished 2 little sections using the Wonderland sequins, and then I finished the other Tell Me Tomorrow section as well. So I'm just going through and adding each sequin one by one using my little Marvy pick-me-up tool, which I love. And I'm just getting all of those in perfectly. I wanted it to, I had to do it one by one. I couldn't really just kind of pour them in because I wanted them strategically placed in each shape. Yeah, so it was worth it. I love the end result. It's super pretty. And I do use quite a bit of sequins, so I did have to place another order to restock some of these colors in my stash. And I definitely am glad that I did it, because tomorrow's June 1st, and that starts this whole Rock Your Stash spending freeze that is going on in our one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. Okay, so there is my final flower piece. I love how it turned out. It's so pretty. It was so worth it, and I'm super happy and thrilled with how it came out. All right, so I am going to be adding a little bit of mixed media on the background. I'm not going to add a lot. I really do want this floral piece to not be taken over by a lot of mixed media. So I just wanted a little something subtle behind it, and I'm just going to add a few colors here by shimmers. So I've got the first one, and it's the original shimmers, and the color is an ultramarine, and it's super pretty. It's really pretty blue color, and I just love it, and I think it matches all the sequins that I've got in my flower piece. And just looking, like when I'm doing this voiceover and looking down at that flower, I just, gosh, it makes me want to like do it again and make more of those things. So yeah. All right, so I'm just using the packaging technique and doing some splatters and getting that color spread around a little bit. And then I do have a little bit of excess that I'm kind of saving and putting it in my little art journal so I don't waste. And the original shimmers already has liquid in it, so you don't have to add anything to it. Of course, I made a mess on my desk as usual, but it's all right. It's fun to get messy. And then, of course, I have to add Oh Say Can You See, and that's a coloring. There's no shimmer in this one, but it is a super, super pretty color. And I'm adding Vibes in Sweetheart. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that Sweetheart is one of my favorite pinks. I love it so, so much. All right. So there's the photo that I'm going to be scrapbooking today. It's of me and my boss that is out in Hawaii. Sorry, my like Alexa on our thermostat just started talking. She's random. Anyways, okay, sorry, distracted. So yes, it's of me and my boss out in Hawaii. Her name is Erin, and this was one of the last, or it actually was the last awards banquet that I went with her to. It was at I think it was at the Halikoa Hotel. I believe that's where it was. Yeah, so I've backed it with a Project Life card, and then I've got some vellum behind it as well. It's going to be soft. I'm not going to layer it up too much because I don't want to add too much to this page. I really think it is keeping it simple, and having the flower and my photo be the main focus is probably a really good idea, especially because I worked so hard on that flower. And I did turn my photo black and white because she was wearing a coral dress and I was wearing black, and then since it was taken indoors, the lighting wasn't that great, and the background chairs and stuff, I didn't like it in color. So I changed it to black and white. That way it could stand out a little more, and it would be easier to scrap with, like the colors that I usually gravitate towards. So this is the layout that I have chosen, as in like the placement for my flower and my photo, and then my little embellishment clusters. And I'm adding some adhesive to the back of that flower so it can pop up a little bit off the page. And I really don't want to embellish too much, so I've only pulled out a few pieces from the Amy Tangerine die cut pack that we got in our Hip Kit Club this month. And I pulled out the pieces that would complement my flower and my colors nicely, but really wouldn't steal away too much from it as well. All right, so I'm going to press that down and kind of weight it so it doesn't warp or like raise up. And what else am I doing? Oh, I'm choosing my thickers for my title. So I'm going to also pop up my photo as well, give it some dimension. I got that foam at Walmart, and then the glue in my little bottle is Scotch Tacky Glue. I had so much fun with this layout. I really am thinking about doing this again because I do have that other flower that I cut out. Since I only used one, I think I might do this again. Maybe with different colors. So yeah, my title is going to be Smile Big. Because we were smiling big, she was honored for quite a few awards for 2017. And we were super proud and happy. It was just a really great moment. I really miss her. I miss Hawaii. Maybe I'll go back soon at some point. But yeah, a couple weeks after this photo was taken, I had left the island and headed back to the mainland. Alright, so I got my title down, and then that little oval tag is also from the Amy Tangerine die cut. That's where I'm going to add my journaling. And I've pulled out these puppy stickers that were exclusive to the Hip Kit Club. Can't remember, I think it was April or March, those kits. But I've been trying to incorporate these pieces into my layouts, and I don't know, like I can't do it. But finally I was able to add the butterfly, which I'm super excited about because I've been wanting to add it, and I think it fit in perfectly with this layout. So I scattered a couple other ones from there, And that's pretty much all that I show on camera. Stay tuned for the final photos where you can see my the journaling and then a couple extra pieces that I added. And there's my code, Brianna15, to save you 15% off your future order. And there's my final layout. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.